No, it's supposed to be Yeti.
There. It lives. Stupid piece of garbage. When your computer decides to die. I mean, I think all my settings are fine. Macedon's making noise, I'm making noise.
Making noise?
No, currently not.
Yeah.
You should be making noise in a second. Oh. Well. It's fine. That was not fun. Luckily, I wasn't in the direct middle of a game.
Yeah, that would have been a pain.
Oh god, they would have got really angry at me if I was in the middle of a game. What can I say? I had to pay too much money on shiny cardboard. I mean, I did technically make my money back on this set, but I had to keep the cards to play, so I didn't actually make my money back on it. Technically. Why did he immediately change turn? I definitely just set Spirit Walk. We'll do it like that. Anyway. I've only got another half an hour in me anyway, so it's not too bad. And then I've got to mess about at locals tomorrow. Then on Sunday, I've got so much recording to do. It just randomly blue screened me. It's never happened before. Maybe my computer's just too warm. I might get some compressed air and clean it out tomorrow. Ooh, Kaiju.
Not a shout, to be fair.
Oh, he's playing White Forest. Okay. I mean, no. You're not getting any extra cards. So yeah, on your message that you put there, we will, if he has a game tomorrow, because we don't have a huge amount of time, because I get there late. If he does want to have a quick game, we can test if the replay rules work. I mean, I don't mind if we have them. It just means it'll be Yu-Gi-Oh! And us that have them. Which is fine. I will give him a 6. Is that his normal? He hasn't normaled yet. Yeah, that is true too. We just need to balance our our generation of counters system as best we can. Generally, if a deck can get 3 or 4 a turn, it's fine. Because usually cards pay for themselves or are cheaper if using it in the deck it's in. So if you can get 3 or 4 per turn, you're usually fine. Hello, Fiendsmith boy. You're on mine now. That's mine now. After 5 turns of doing nothing, or just as in doing effects? Because the star field is, regardless, you get 2C per turn, which is at the beginning of your turn. And then on standard summon, so you get 1 of those. And on activation of any constellation, but none of the constellations are free. So you'll always lose them. Like if you weren't spending them and only gaining them, in Star, in 5 turns, you could probably have about 25 of them. Ish. God, he's still going. Because you've got cards like Empress and Solar in Star, which have additional effects of gain extra C. So you'd be fine. But if you have spent 5 turns with activating no effects, you will have probably been dead by then.
Potentially.
Because you'd only be having free effects or cards that gain. And your opponent would have probably hit you with a couple of tier 5s by then. Unless you had floodgate-ish effects to slow your opponent down. Christ, this guy's still going. Like Valkyrie, for example, their deck only gains on tributing and on summon. So you'd have to waste a couple of turns tributing your stuff to gain advantage. What do you mean 4 and then pay additional counters on top of that? I mean, drawing's not the biggest problem. In Duels, the problem is the counters themselves. So if you had an effect of gaining them better, that'd be a bit easier. Yeah, I've definitely lost this game. Unless your deck specifically has lots of draw. Like, to draw 2 in that scenario, you'd have to pay 8. That is massive. Like, you could do 2 reborns and a destruction effect for the cost of 8. You know, for the cost of drawing 2. This would be a lot easier if we had a couple of test games. Like, if Nat's camera worked, we could just do a quick mock game. It wouldn't be easy to understand, but it would be possible. I mean, you can draw all the cards you want, but if you don't have the resource to play them, it might be a bit of a pain. I mean, it depends on the system. I mean, like, we'd have to test it just to balance it and see if we can. I don't have any immediate decks around me to demonstrate how many counters I could get. Or do I? Is it? One of my big 4K boxes has all my Dwarves decks in it. I can't remember which one it is. This. I can't remember which one. I'll find them out for next time. It's fine. I'll find them out for next time. I've got the horse deck to finish for next time. That's going to be a pain. I don't even know if that deck even works. It's a completely new mechanic that we've never tested. Yeah, it's basically it has a fusion deck, and the cards in the fusion deck have a cards written on it of this plus this, and you can fuse into it. But we also haven't decided yet if when that fused card leaves the field, does it go to the graveyard or does it go back to the extra deck basically, so it can be used again. So we need to make it. We've made decks to test which one. It's a Pegasus deck with Elf Knights. Did he really start off with Snake Raid? Christ. I've only made one card of it so far, and that's its God. It's the only card that's actually done from that deck currently. While this guy's doing his turn, this is the one we've made. This is Natasha. So currently, when you do the fusion thing, the two cards you fuse go under it as units, and this has the effect of like there of a summon a unit, remove a unit to do stuff. Once per turn, add target card you control and add a card as a unit to it, and units give it passive buffs. You know, for like the horses and stuff. I mean, we'll eventually find out something cool for it. Because if they don't go to the grave, they are reusable, but also you can't reborn them and get your advantage back. I got rid of Slicer Zeruel. Got something. I've got the entire deck made, in text form. I just need to make them into cards to test. But it should be fine. We just need to pick which one we want to do. Go to the grave on it.
That is true. Definitely true.
Because depending on which one we pick, we've got to make decks differently.
Yeah. Mine's built for the return.
You do only have 10 cards in this zone, but the problem is with that one, if it does get exiled, that's one of your 10 resources gone permanently. And if your entire deck is based around only doing that, because that's what the deck's gimmick is, you won't be able to play. I was saying, potentially if it would leave the field, it gets exiled, but you summon the units under it instead. But then you'd lose a massive option of how to play the game.
Why would it get exiled again?
Just a thing of the proposition of if it would leave the field, it just gets exiled by rules.
Yeah, I won't have that rule.
We just need to figure out what we want the basically extra deck or the shift zone to do. Because there's also one we've got of, should it allow 2 cards to combine to become stronger, or just have 1 card that shifts between different forms and is basically the same but with different effects.
The thing is like we've currently got 2 different ways of doing it. I've got the way of basically it can be just 1 card, and it's just changing its form.
Yours is the same card. It's basically the same, but it changes forms. Mine is they combine to become a better thing.
So yeah, the horses and stuff. That's basically you're getting the horse and the guy.
So yours would shift like a 5 into a tier 5, but I could shift a 2 and a 2 into a 5 because they'd combine.
I believe the idea I had for the spirit deck is that he's going to use the tokens that it summons to fuel the shift, whereas when it's something like glory, that one is just essentially palette swap.
Yeah, so we need to pick which kind of one we want for it. So it's one of them things.
Because, to be fair, I think all of those are all viable options for shift. Because obviously that is the condition. Because the condition.
Sorasha's is yours. Sorasha shifts between light and dark based on what tier she is.
Yeah, so it's literally just a case of. That's just a case of how. It's more of the grave effect, I think, that we need to look at in it.
But then Sorasha also wouldn't work if they're all sent to the graveyard all the time, because you'd be lost out of all your shift materials.
Exactly.
Unless you have a field that just constant or stay on the Sorasha card of, if this shift card would go to the graveyard, it goes back to the shift zone instead.
Well, yeah, that was my stance. I think all shift cards just go straight back into the shift zone because they're not actually a card.
Always stay. They just go to the graveyard unless they have an effect on them that they don't.
Because I was thinking that shift cards are basically whatever they have shifted from. So basically, anything that happens to the shift card happens to those cards rather than the shift card.
Yeah.
Shift card goes back, and the other two cards would get exiled if it's like the horses where there's two cards, or it's like mine where there's one. Yeah, or sent to the grave, or returned to the hand. You know, whatever it is.
And we can test that. Didn't think we'd still be alive? My computer blue screen of death me half an hour ago. I've just had to scramble to get a stream back. Because I've only got 20 minutes left because it's almost 4 AM for us.
Yeah, I should really go to bed.
Sleeps for the week. I'm setting off at 12 to locals tomorrow anyway.
I will be setting off in 4+ hours.
Yeah, you've got like a several hour train. We really need to find a better locals because it's really taking piss.
Locals are just a location.
Just our location.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive 80 miles every Saturday just to meet up with everybody.
We'll all just congregate to your house instead. How about that?
I'm building a games room, so we could. And there's not exactly anyone else there since I basically live by myself at this point. But then if that's opened up, then it'll be, well, you can go to mine next time. And you go to this one this time.
That is also the thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've got another 10 roll. Might as well use that. The problem with trading cards is you kind of need IRL friends. It's kind of the problem. But also when you're streaming, you kind of don't. I've met loads of really nice people. Do I need to play that back anymore, or should I just get Striker instead? Yeah, we'll get Striker. Yeah, because once I finish like this other deck of Dwarves, I can show Firewall how it plays easy, so... But for that video, I need the card back to be finished, but that's like 10 minutes work. Hey. If your old friends are not doing right, get yourself some new ones. You don't want people who make you feel bad. Get some people.
True.
Oh, I don't know about flying in this Firewall. I hate flying. To clarify why I hate flying. Blaze, the Sir, every deck he has ever played that has flying, all of his cards are flying. And it is the most insufferable thing in the world.
It's mainly when you can't block flying unless you have flying, and then when you don't have flying, you're just like, God. Best thing is when people say, just draw the out.
Hate that. Just draw the out is the worst thing in the world, which is basically build your deck better. You cannot build a deck for every situation. I mean, we don't have any unblockable, you know, like any... Would flying even work in Dwarves? Because you don't direct attack, do you? The only equivalent of flying would be just direct attack as an ability. An entire deck of direct attack would be horrible.
I did that.
Oh, you tested that. It was miserable.
No, I think the miserable part is because I just give everything 1,000. Yeah, 10 hits and you're out.
That wasn't exactly a great fall. That's fine.
It wasn't the best, the most, yeah.
It wasn't the best well thought out
deck.
plan, no.
Good room for improvement.
Yeah, but even with small stats, it was an entire deck of direct attacks.
Oh yeah.
Let's put it this way. If you have 6 cards on the field with 500, you will probably kill your opponent in that turn. There are like 3 card combos that you would just win. Because they wouldn't have weak stat. Like, could you have a tier 5 with direct attack and like 500 power? That's way too weak even for direct attack for tier 5. It'd have to be 15. And you've got a couple of them.
There will be another effect or something else going on with it, but
We'll say it's 15. You hit for 15. You flip tier asunder. Swap it into 5 tier 1s with like 800. You've basically killed them then in one card. Yeah, direct attack is probably something that we should be careful of. Unless we build it right. Direct attack at half damage. But you can have at cost to cause full damage. Or assists that do extra damage. There's a couple of stuff. I just noticed Nate is also from the US. Interesting. We have lots of US people. Well, of course, you're going to have many UK people at 4 AM.
that is true.
Have we had any UK people? I don't think we've had many. I mean, you can probably out a Spirit Reaper with the Dwarves mechanics, but yes, it would be pretty annoying. You could just Divine Slayer it and just punch it in the face. Gods generally have that as standard, so a god could just punch it. It's not too bad. Yeah, I really should give a list of the keywords we have. I thought I had that somewhere. I'll find it later. Oh, if I haven't shown you, I'll just quickly show you here. This one. What? Where is she? There we go. Yeah, this is what the Valkyrie God looks like. All your little things get power. If a Valkyrie kills a card, you can just... Yeah. If any Valkyrie kills a card, you get to steal it. Or you can summon a Valkyrie from your deck for 1. Retire any number of cards you control to summon that many number of Valkyries. So if you only had tokens, you can just spam the field with big things. You are right. People are not interested in making fair plays. It's either fair plays, unfair plays, or something like Blue Eyes, which is just single monotonous combo that works. Spectrum of it works monotonous combo, or it might work and is really unfair, like Tier. That's just all they do. It's kind of annoying, to be fair. How long does the Duelist Cup have left? I want to quickly check. 24th of March, so... Oh, I do have an extra week of this if I wanted to. Oh yeah, countable within reason. There's loads of cards in Dwarves that you can use to counter cards. The first wave won't have those, but most decks have in-archetype ways of countering things. Matt, do we have a side deck, don't we?
I believe we do, but I don't think it's ever been really discussed much.
Well, if you were up against ice and you had no assist destruction, you would lose. It would be impossible to win.
Yeah, because in a tournament setting, I don't see why we wouldn't have one.
Well, Magic has the sideboard, so most games have them. I think it's fine.
But like I said, I don't think we've specified how many or...
Yeah, it's like, can you swap out fields or can you swap out gods? Or is it just standard cards you swap out?
I think you can swap out most things, except it's got to remain as the same... Not the same deity, because if we have different copies of the same deity, then you obviously can just switch ones, so like... a different version of Glory.
I think same counter field is fine. You shouldn't be able to swap that out because that changes your entire playstyle.
I think you should be able to change counter field out because that will. Yeah, because I think that would actually be quite an interesting.
Swap it out, but for the same tribe.
One place, but it's got to be for the same tribe or tribeless. But you can't. So you can't change your tribe because obviously that's.
But would that extra field count in your sideboard though, or would it just be? Well, I mean, it would, wouldn't it, technically?
Yeah, it counts towards your sideboard. I think any card for any part would count towards your sideboard.
Fields, God Arts.
Fields, God Arts, anything
like
related can be interchanged. And I'd actually up it, considering we have quite a few, so I'd say...
Firewall suggesting we shouldn't be able to swap out gods or fields.
Why so?
I mean, it would make it a different game, technically, because you'd be different strategies.
It would make it different. But one thing that I would say is it would make it a bit more lively, because if your strategy isn't working with one field or deity, then and you can switch it up to a different one.
Okay, what if your entire deck is built around one specific god? If you swap it to another one, can you make your deck work with the limited amount of side deck space?
That will go down to the person who is building it.
No, like if you specifically made your deck for...
really...
Like if you've made your deck specifically for like Swordsmaster Glory, and then swap out into Dancer Glory, in say 20 card space, you would not be able to make that deck work.
It depends. Like I said, it depends on how you actually build your core deck. Because how your core deck will function is obviously based on the person. We can't just say, "Oh, that's not going to work."
I mean, lore-wise, you are fighting for one specific god, so you should not be able to swap out your god.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like it's not the god. So basically, if you're using a glory deity for Bella Eternia, then you could go have a Bella Eternia deity.
Yeah, but Glory can just shift between forms anyway, so Glory's fine.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So in Glory's case, you're not actually swapping out deity, you're swapping out the shift zone.
Oh god, side decking a shift deck would suck. Say you've only got 20 spaces, that means you've got to change potentially your god, your fields, your god arts, your shift zone.
The interesting thing, if we did the side deck or the shift deck as a basically, okay, any card in here just gets sent back here, and we've got what 10 cards or whatever it was in there.
It was 10, yeah.
Then you really only need 2 copies of any given card. So I think that would be more than enough for any Glory deity deck, considering the rest of Glory doesn't have shift.
Yeah.
Just the deity. So that generally wouldn't need side decking. You might side deck
Talon should be able to have shift.
But But yeah, that's just my stance. I think it would be unwise to rule it out too early anyway.
I don't know if Firewall's gone for a walk or he's writing a massive essay.
Essay, I'm assuming. Essay.
It's fine. I can wait.
Essay.
I'll wait till he's done.
But
I do want lots of sides and opinions on this. So.
But yeah, it's yeah, definitely could. Don't want to cross it off too early. Like I said, you can't change what the god is. It's just you can change the type. Yeah, is because as we said, I think we've got it now. Our cards will have like same names, but
different codes. Yeah,
different codes and stuff. So it'd be a similar instance of that. It's got to be the same name, but you can shift it or switch it to a different code one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, we have no idea. We're just
jotting
out ideas right now.
Because I feel like it would be more interesting game-wise, especially if one person kind of tries to counter someone in the second round by changing theirs up, but then another person just completely changes theirs. How theirs plays to some degree, or vice versa. One person has just got this kind of killer strategy and they're kind of going for it, and it's not working with the second player's strategy, so they change their entire how theirs runs, essentially what it is they're focused on, by switching up the field and the deity to some degree. Obviously, you'd still have to. The core of the deck would still have to function with both sets that they're kind of going for, but that is down to, like I said, it's down to the player to kind of figure that one out, not us. We're just giving them the opportunity. Anywho,
apparently I can bumble myself through a combo.
Nice.
Yeah, we hadn't even thought about anything about swapping fields or if the third individual who made the game with us is in tomorrow, which is possible. He's a Magic fan as well. But he'll also be able to determine if we can play it or not. I know I'm doing the thing. I'm learning. Why is it that I haven't fought a single one of these people all day, and the second they go into ranked, it's damage player? Called Yami.
We've been waiting for you. They're the ones who caused the crash. Don't you hurry up?
We have some sort of respect for this guy because he's using that the symbol of the mutant. That's fine. But I'm not a massive fan of this guy. Mm. It might give you, since you're swapping your field, you could swap to a different site, you know, a different form of your deck that isn't as immune to that. You know, is more immune, if you know what I mean. Like the Starlight has the Knights and the People, which are separate things. If you build a Star Knight deck and say your opponent's really good against that, you could swap your field to the Starlight one and swap to the Humans, which would be easier to play, maybe.
Exactly.
I mean, we may not even do this, but it does sound... Oh, this isn't even Kaiba. This is just a random assortment of random jank. Kaiba wishes he had this. Okay, what's 4 counters gonna get you? Rod, maybe? You already used Rod Search this turn. You've used Souls, you can't use that again. Or is it just remove 3, summon 1? Oh, it is. Okay. Well, I don't have any darks, you can't reborn them. I literally don't have any. My entire deck is light. Oh, he's off to Quintet Magician. I can still kill that. Or can I? Quintet Magician. Can't be destroyed by card effects, it doesn't matter, I banish. Oh, I can't Gale Dogra now. Shame. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to bumble this.
Best option sometimes.
Why would you nib yourself?
Why not?
Oh, because that can't be tributed. Okay.
The poet forgot.
Oh, he definitely remembered. That's why he used it. I forgot. Why would a card search from the side deck? That's a bit excessive.
There is no need to search for the side deck. Really? Yeah. Because the side deck wouldn't be in play. That's one thing we wouldn't have ever. I mean, I know technically in Force of Will, they've had cards where it's like use a card you own from outside the game.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. I'm finding it.
It's stupid. It's so stupid. But hey, you never know. Like you said, it's like there could be a deck which specializes in it, but I would not make it a general card.
Look at this absolutely beautiful monstrosity bylaw. When this card enters the field, reveal any number of 7 kings you own from outside the game. Keep them revealed, and it gets all the powers of everything revealed at all times.
Yeah.
So stupid. I have this.
I've got something similar. It lets me summon a chimera card from outside the game that I own.
I like Valentina.
To the field. I just like yeah, sure, why not?
Some really cool Force of Will deities. Well, rulers.
Anyway.
Rulers, technically.
Yeah, rulers.
Oh no, my random jank deck lost because it's a random jank deck. Okay. I wasn't even trying. It's fine.
Oh, battle spheres.
It's fine. Ooh, my paper's arriving today, apparently. I get a message to say that my paper's arriving. Thanks. Yeah, I don't think we'll be going that route for Deity Wars anyway. Interesting, though.
Like I said, it could be a route that's used in like a gimmick deck, but other than that, I would not put it as a main thing. It seems like it would be a bit hard to balance.
No, you could have a field that, at the beginning of the game, exiles 7 from the top of your deck. And that's called something. That's called, like, the library or the stack of cards. And you've got cards that interact with that and swap in and out to do stuff.
Have a look at the stack of cards.
Yeah, look at... We'll just call it library. Look at your library of 7, or just say library. Swap one card from your hand from a card there. And you can have cards that trigger when they are there to do stuff, and then are swapped with other stuff or removed from the game, reducing the stack. I don't know. It is
the realm between.
I mean, that would be a cool gimmick for Realm to have. He can put up to, at the beginning of the game, choose 7 different realms, and then the realms do stuff, and you can swap the realms out.
True.
I think that'd be kind of cool. Or worlds, or whatever. I think that'd be kind of interesting. It gives him a unique thing that no other deck has.
And it would.
I don't know if it'd work, but it'd be interesting. I'm going to give Firewall an ability to do the last words of today since I need to get myself off. So if he's got anything else to add. I do like the library idea. A deck would be kind of cool with that. I don't know how it'd work. Maybe you can play the worlds from the stack and then give passive buffs and you can swap them out to do stuff.
I'd say any card that you use from there gets exiled afterwards. And you could do like what Firewall says, it's like choose 7 cards from your side deck and place them
or do it like Vanguard do. When they're used, they're flipped face down. Or face up. And then they stay face up and can't be used again. And you've got to swap those ones out to do stuff.
They don't even get exiled. You could just say they return to the side deck.
Yeah.
Nothing gets used from the side deck.
I think it's fine. No chance in hell, sir. Have you just seen that blasphemy that he just posted? Have you seen that blasphemy that Firewall just posted in chat?
Which one?
The blasphemy?
Yeah. We should totally do that one.
No, we shouldn't. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, we'll have a card which gains 500 for each counter 7 times.
Nah. All librarians, all of them, have the effect of plus X per assist you control. I'll just make it 50k.
You should have it them stack on. They don't really stack. It's just a flat.
Do you know how overpowered the Kitsune deck would be if one card had the burn effects of every card in the grave?
Very.
I mean, that would be kind of... Okay, a god could potentially have that. Because the gun deity has the effect of... It gains the effects of all the things in its unit stack. Because it's a gun thing that uses bullets. But not everything in the grave, now. That would be absolutely crazy.
This is madness.
I mean, in Magic, when basically any card in your hand is a quick effect and can be used majority on your opponent's turn. But in not being able to deal with it would be kind of impressive. Keywords, though, sure. Give him all the keywords. Stack them up. Give him Godslayer, Divine Guard. No, let's not give him Godslayer, Divine Guard. That would be kind of ridiculous. Be almost unkillable.
Almost. Kind of would be actually unkillable. Can't bounce it.
I mean, a god could punch it.
You can punch it. That is the only way to get rid of it. Unless it gains indestructible somehow.
I mean, I don't mind if you can bounce them now. It was only a problem when you put effort into a god for it to get bounced.
Yeah.
I don't mind if they get bounced now. Indeed. We got a little bit of things done there. I spent 5k gems and got 1 royal. That's something. And on that, it has been well, I was about to say a 4-hour stream, but it's kind of split into 2 pieces. I'll call this part 2. I need to get myself off, since it is 4 AM now. I will need to be up soon. As always, I thank the people who was on, which is Nat chatting and Firewall having a chat. And I will see everybody later.
Later.